Ho, ho, ho. Merry Strikemas Eve, everyone. Coming up today on Let Her Shoot, we are talking CBA negotiations, the possibility of a strike, and what the hell we're going to do if that happens.
So I don't really give a fuck about your losses.
Plus, the Connecticut Sun are looking at a very different type of rebrand. The LSU Tigers cannot be caged, and Grace Knox is a big reason why. Plus, volleyball has a first-time national champion. Lock in.
I'm a hot girl. I get anything I want. This is my world. I make big moves in my big heels. Since the day that I was born, I've been...
Welcome to Let Her Shoot, the only podcast that covers women's sports the way that we want them covered. That means no bullshit. That means respect for the game, respect for the athletes. Some of those athletes beat the shit out of one another, it turns out, as I found out from Miami the other day. And all the reasons to stay locked in. Sarah Chavnik, two-time Emmy Award-winning producer. Trista Crick, that's me, zero-time Emmy Award-winning, nominated, considered, anything. We'll work on that. Let's not talk about accolades at the moment. We've got stuff to get to. Let's catch up on what's happening with the WNBA CBA. Sarah, we got some news.
Yeah, so came down late last week that the PA has the by the way, learned last week that it's not WNBA PA, it's WNBPA, which
Very
is confusing.
confusing.
Yeah, I've been adding the A.
I won't do it.
No.
Won't do it.
It's WNBA PA.
Yeah, because it's really can't be.
I know that's two associations in a row, but still.
It's like ATM machine.
Yeah, I just say ATM. No, I just say ATM.
No, you don't. No one does that.
I don't think I've ever said I'm going to the ATM machine. I think I just say I'm going to the ATM.
Oh my God. Wow, we have an elitist on our hands. Doesn't say the machine, just the only one on planet Earth.
My point is the PA has officially authorized 98% in favor of striking should they need to. What they said was if necessary. Kind of feels like they feel like it might be necessary if they're preemptively voting to strike.
I already know what you're going to say when I tell you this. Ooh, Trista, you make everything about yourself. You're so arrogant. I made this happen.
Okay.
I am like, I never do this. 84%. I am 84% confident. That's a better number. 84% confident. That's B minus-ish. B. I'm very confident I made this alert go out. My question to the man who's holding water for Adam Silver and basically league owners in general, who I asked a question about the WNBA when I went on the Dan Le Batard show, I knew when he answered it, some shit's about to go down. And like 4 hours later, this went down. And then the league had a response as well. So I just want to say, like, you're welcome.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that I'm getting this right. You think that the league convened 140 players to vote on a strike in 4 hours?
No, I think they already had voted.
Oh, you think they had voted, but they were just keeping this private?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Why?
I think because they wanted to wait for the nuclear button. They wanted to see if because we've got little steps to this negotiation, and we keep stuff, we, the Players Association, we, the labor, we, the league, whoever side you're on, if you're on the league side, you're on the wrong side. And they keep stuff in their pockets for moments where they feel like they get maximum impact. This is all a PR war. Okay. And David Sampson, who used to be the president of the Miami Marlins until Derek Jeter got him the fuck up out of there, came on Dan Le Batard's show and literally thought he was doing something in terms of helping the PR out for the league, which is we're so poor and there's an existential crisis and don't think you're getting anything, just be happy with what you get.
So what did he say?
I said, hey, there's now like a revenue percentage. What revenue percentage do you think the players and the league will agree to in order to get a deal done? And this is what he said.
But the biggest misunderstanding here is that the players in the WNBA want to have a pegged revenue number the way they have it in the NBA. And Adam Silver is saying no because the NBA owners are saying no, because that's not taking into account all of the money that the WNBA owners need to profit and take off the table to pay down debt that has been accruing over the decades of losses. So that is why they're not having a meeting of the minds on any percentage, which is why the NBA is offering minimum salaries increasing like up to $1 million.
That number's
because
wrong.
then you can absolutely chart and express what your expenses will be and then what your profits will be.
Revenue split versus derived revenue share off of a fixed number. What is your opinion on what happens?
Maybe the end of the WNBA. The players will move. There's not going to be a fixed number. It doesn't make sense to me for the WNBA to demand that, for the players to demand that right now.
When is it time?
I understand. The biggest thing they did wrong.
That's my question, is when is it time?
He's saying that the WNBA will end if the players continue to die on the revenue split model. And to that I say, wow. Huge news.
Okay, so
I guess think it's news because I don't think it's going to happen, but that's what he believes.
No, but I guess my question to you is like, is this guy, is he a shill? Or is he
is he a shill? Sarah, there may not be a bigger shill in terms of former suit for a sport than David Sampson.
They said this is their moment. And so they've put a lot of pressure on themselves to make huge changes in the collective bargaining agreement because this is their moment. What you try to do is make incremental benefits through the course of multiple agreements. And so I don't think they should have gone for everything they're going for right now because they put themselves in a corner where they feel like they have to get it or it's like a major loss.
What did you say on the front end of this?
He said the end of the WNBA.
What are you saying is going to happen if...
let's be clear, Dan. People are not talking about this enough. We talked about it on the sporting class. And obviously, you know, John Skipper's involvement in Unrivaled, but you also have talked about what Project B is. You understand there are players who are getting paid multi-millions of dollars to go play in another league in another country. This is the moment. If you had any ability to invest and you wanted to start a league to compete with the WNBA, this is the time. Every player is a free agent. All of them want money and need money. If you have a well-capitalized and well-funded business, the way Project B may be, that could be the end of the WNBA. And I promise you that Adam Silver...
I'm going to say one thing. I have a very hard time trusting the opinion of a person whose face I can't totally make out what the structure of it is if they have such a heavy beard. I'm just like, her lies just getting lost in there because
Did you say is his lies getting
or
lost?
His lies getting
lost in his beard?
Yeah.
Great question.
So I guess my question is, when is the time? Because we get an article like this Forbes article that came out last week, right? That values the without the Valkyries in part of it. The WNBA collectively, the teams are worth somewhere over $5 billion. So if you have teams that their valuations are $5 billion, how can you sit there and say their employees that make that product deserve very little share of that product and they would rather just throw the whole thing away?
The thing that's wild, Sarah, is that at the end of that clip, he said he doesn't think that the owners will even care if the WNBA ends.
So they're willing to throw money away just out of principle, out of sheer principle. Where are they going to hide? Okay, I have a question. If they throw the WNBA away, where are they going to hide all their losses?
That part. That fucking part right now.
Where are they going to hide it?
I should have asked him that. That's such a brilliant question. Where will the NBA launder their losses?
That's what I would like to know.
Also, I can guarantee you that Joe Tsai, the owner of the Brooklyn Nets, but also the New York Liberty, Joe Lacob, two Joes, two billionaire Joes that own multiple teams. Who owns the Golden State Warriors and the Golden State Valkyries? I forget her first name, but the Batals, who own the Portland Thorns, as well as now the Portland Fire. And you're seeing the valuations increase in a way that is bonkers.
400 million is what the Liberty are worth. And they think the Valkyries are worth more than that.
And they're going to pay, which we'll talk about in a second, the Connecticut Sun over 200 million.
250, right?
Yeah. So you've got all of this money that these owners know that they can get tomorrow by selling the team. And you think they're going to be okay with the league just ending?
Just ending. Just throw that money away. We don't give a shit. That is the most bullshit take, because you know what? That, to me, that's just misogyny packaged in ego. To me right now, this is an ego war. Men cannot admit that the women are bringing in money and that they're bringing in their fair share of money, and that the men maybe are losing a little bit of money to the women, even if it's very marginal, even if it's less than negligent in terms of what the negligible than in terms of inflation every year. But regardless, there are advertisers, there are media companies that are putting money into the women's game, and I don't understand the logic that, well, we did this $2 billion rights deal, but really 98% of that is for the men.
To me, if you are an NBA owner, and I'll just concede a point that I actually don't concede on, but I'll give people this point that they have a decade or decades, quote unquote, of losses that they want to recoup. Okay, so
did the NBA.
So say that's true, that they have decades of losses, these NBA owners that own a piece of the WNBA teams that they want to get back. So if you own a WNBA team at the same time, then just sell the WNBA team, get all that money back. So I don't really give a fuck about your losses. And truly, if you want out, then get out. And I actually don't really care about these billionaires that could potentially lose teams, and they just invested, like the Golden State Valkyries owner Joe Lacob, who I really don't care for. I don't really care for Joe Tsai and Alibaba. I don't care. Actually, I truly don't care if the WNBA ends. I truly do not care, because I believe tomorrow Candace Parker or Nafisa Collier or somebody will decide, you know what, Unrivaled is now a 5-on-5 league. And we're going to make it like 30 teams. And we're going to get a bunch of, because we don't have any losses. We don't have any decades of losses we need to accrue. All we need to do is pay the players, get rights deals, get advertising, and find venues to do that. And they have very smart people who could probably do some sort of partnerships with these arenas in the time periods where there's no NBA games playing, and then do licensing deals. And we'll give players a piece of the revenue from the marketing and sales of our jerseys and all the other stuff. And like, I'm not wedded. I would love to see the Portland Fire continue and start again. And like, I love the WNBA, but like, fuck you guys. I just, because that's what you're going to threaten. So then what happened after is that the players put out a memo about, hey, we will strike. And then the WNBA came out and said, hey, like, you don't actually, people are getting it wrong. And like, we actually will pay a percentage of revenue. And like, people are trying to say we have these antiquated models of how we want to operate. And they really were like, yo, David Sampson, he's not representing us. We're not saying that. Like, and so if you, because I bet you if the Players Association sees that from David Sampson, and he's friendly with these league owners, he's friendly with commissioners, and they're like, he doesn't speak for us. Because if I'm the Players Association, I see that, oh, you guys are threatening that's the end of WNBA if we don't come back with some sort of concession on that you want a revenue split. Oh yeah, we'll strike. We don't give a fuck. We'll strike. So it's wild. It's a wild time.
It is a wild time, and what you kind of alluded to about these owners and the money. is if they're not worth anything, if these expansion teams are worthless, if these teams are worthless, if they're not worth paying the players, if it's not worth revenue sharing, then just get rid of the teams. Why are we having such a bidding war over the Connecticut Sun when you've got everybody? It seems like every city in America wants a piece of the Connecticut Sun. So much so that the WNBA has come in and essentially manhandled the team away from the state of Connecticut and is trying to ship them down to Houston as per the Houston Rockets ownership absolutely needing, apparently, to have a team.
Yeah, man, I will never support this. I will never, I may boycott talking about the Houston Comets, and from now on, if they move there and it ends up going through, call them the Connecticut Comets. I really am so against literally stealing a team from the Sun.
Yes.
And taking advantage of Native American folks and people who like the Connecticut Sun that live in Connecticut. This is one of the most loyal fan bases in all of the WNBA that's been profitable over time and has been a mainstay. Now, do I think it should move to Hartford? Yeah, I think that's probably better for the fan base. Would I even mind if it stayed in New England and moved to Boston? No, I would not. And if they're saying, oh, well, Boston had their chance to get into the expansion team world, but guess who also had their chance? The Houston Comets. The Houston contingency had their chance. But no, we would rather rip the team away and move them to Houston than rip the team away and move them just close by to Boston. It's fucked up. It is predatory. And I will not let it stand, Sarah.
It's what, to me, the part that's ridiculous about it all, and what's so blatantly obvious, is the fact that the WNBA, and by that we really mean the NBA and Adam Silver, have really made it a point to say that the Connecticut Sun can only go to an existing owner, basically. And I find that strange. Do you?
It seems like they want to strengthen ties with the NBA at a time where the NBA owners are saying how unprofitable it is to be in the business of the WNBA. If that was the case, then why wouldn't you let new owners who have nothing to do with the NBA run these teams?
Can you explain what the ties are? Because outside of owners, I don't really see what WNBA teams get from their NBA counterparts outside of
arena rights, right? So like the reason that,
but that's not all of them.
Well, if you are owned by an NBA team, then it is, right? So like the Brooklyn Nets have Barclays Center, and so the New York Liberty end up playing at Barclays. Now, the Washington Mystics,
I was going to say Mystics don't,
owned by Ted Leonsis, who owns the
Sheila
Washington
Johnson
Wizards, and Sheila Johnson. Sorry, shout out to Sheila Johnson. No shade to Sheila Johnson.
Yeah, no shade.
But like they would play at Capital One or whatever it's being called now, if there was enough interest in the team instead of making their own.
Oh, by the way, hilarious when people say that, because like I've been to both Wizards and Mystics
forced
games.
Though, if the Wizards though, Sarah, would play over in Anacostia if they could put them there.
They would. I'm just saying there's zero way that there's Wizards games that they outsell or out money make a Mystics game. There's zero chance of that.
But largely you'll play in the same arena, like large.
Okay.
If they like, for example, the Chicago Sky is another example. To your point, Chicago Sky are not playing at the United Center. They probably should, right? But they built their own stadium. So I think it's like a difference in terms of like, do the teams want their own arena? Do they want their own facilities? Do they want to share the facilities with the NBA team? It's really tough to say. I'm sure there's other benefits that they're going to pitch to us that they're getting from being tied to the NBA. And maybe the ties are also the fact that they're wrapping these rights deals, WNBA and NBA. If there was no connection to the NBA owners, then you probably wouldn't do that. And the WNBA owners would go out and get their own rights deal done. but they're basically getting rolled up into what the NBA is doing. I'm just going to say this. The Houston Rockets are one of the most storied franchises in the WNBA. They're one of the OG teams. Cynthia Cooper was my favorite player growing up. And a lot of people are allowing this to go under the rug because it's the Houston Comets. And it is a storied franchise. And they do deserve having a franchise. But I'll say this. Those games, similarly to the Atlanta Dream games, they're very similar markets. No one's going to those games. It's like 6 lanes of traffic both ways. Houston is a shithole as like in terms of traffic. And I don't think it's going to generate the level of like lit vibe that they think it's going to. So I think it's a terrible idea. I'm really upset. As you can
Also,
tell.
who the fuck wants to go to Texas right now? I mean,
Facts.
Let's be honest about that. And
that's a great point.
And imagine the state of Connecticut without professional basketball.
No, it's weird. It's weird, especially with the ties to UConn. I feel like there's like this almost unspoken, like it's women's basketball is Connecticut.
It's Connecticut.
So ripping it out I really hope somebody steps in and finds a way to stop.
Yeah, it sort of feels like that, the Time Warner merger where it's like we're all just.
It's like Netflix wants to get a deal done, but Donald Trump wants Warner Brother to get it.
Right, Donald Trump wants it to go to Paramount, and so we're gonna negotiate this, and it's like all of us are like, okay, I just want to watch my shows.
Yeah,
just want to watch my shows. Just want them to be good. Just don't want them to get canceled.
Don't want people to get fired. That I know. Plenty of play-by-play people will lose their job, by the way. Like, plenty of people who cover the Connecticut Sun will no longer have a job in the WNBA unless they want to move to Houston. The whole thing is fucked.
Also, isn't it a little bit interesting that the NBA can manage, the WNBA can manage to get this deal brokered through when we're in the middle of a CBA and they can't get to an agreement to even have a league next year. Anyway, if this goes into effect, it'll take place in 2027, so we'll get one more.
We have a league, according to David Sampson.
Well, if we don't have a league, we'll have Unrivaled. The kids are already back to school. They're already down in Miami. They're already doing their TikToks. We're already getting content coming out. One thing that we're going to miss if the WNBA goes away is Paige dancing on the court, except that we won't really be missing it because Paige can still dance her little heart out, or can she? Because we're finding out that maybe Paige has an Achilles heel and maybe that's her rhythm.
That's the whitest thing about her. Let's see.
It is.
They did a
for
TikTok
sure
trend and it went horribly. Let's watch the first time Paige tries to do this, because the rest of the training camp she's been trying to rectify how badly she's looked on camera.
How badly, which, I don't think Paige, that's bad. So it's sort of just arm flight. She kind of looks like one of those like NPCs,
What's an NPC?
It's like the little avatars in like if you're playing like, what's the one Fortnite that they all play?
Got it.
And like when they're like standing still and the little
yeah. When it's like you're choosing an avatar and that's just how they move when they're
and it's just like how they move. That's kind of how Paige dances.
That is such a fair comparison. Also, what I'll say is it just kind of looks like a robot. She looks like a robot that's built to be a human, and it's like, oh yeah, something's wrong with her. This is how you know she's from Minnesota and not from like the streets.
It's not good. It's definitely not good.
The part that made it so bad is that Marina Mabrey all last year literally got into a lesbian relationship based off of how little rhythm she had and how much Sanaya Rivers gave her. Like, that's how they started their relationship. Sanaya
is it really?
Was teaching her how to dance, and it became cute and funny, and then they fell in love somehow. And now that you got to use Marina Mabrey, considered widely as one of the white girls in the W that has no rhythm, that she needed to find the rhythm. And now she is the Padawan to Paige Bueckers' lack of rhythm. Play this clip. She said, there's already proof that I can do this move. And
Is
this
there
the proof?
Oh,
No,
that's the proof.
that's
Okay.
not the proof, baby girl.
That's
not it. So she's doing it with some others. Marina Mabry's trying to walk her through it. And she looks much better than Paige doing it, honestly.
I will say Marina has more flow.
It's like,
to
where
her
is
arm.
AZ's rhythm in all this? How come AZ hasn't taught Paige to dance?
I was gonna ask that.
And now Paige is trying to say, listen, that was a perfect dance. How about you clip it for me instead of slandering me on the internet? And it's like, Paige, boo-boo. No, you look just the same stiff ass as you were before.
It's just a different angle.
I guarantee you this, when we clip this, and we can keep this in, the Paige and AZ stands are going to be like, you guys are so weird. Ugh, this is so gross. You're not even a real.
She plays
women.
basketball. She doesn't need to be a dancer.
Why are you guys even talking about this? It's like, because it was on the internet and it was funny and it's about women's sports. And how about you kick rocks?
How about you kick rocks? Rocks, not rhymes with Knox, and that's how I'm going to transition to the next topic.
I didn't know how you were going to get into it because there was no easy segue. Retirement should not be overcomplicated. You should feel like the advice that you're getting fits your life, not someone else's agenda. That is straight talk and a solid strategy, and that's what you get from Fuchs Financial, our guy. Watch Ben show How to Retire on his YouTube page, which we link in the show notes. Thank you to Ben. Seriously, thank you to Ben for believing in what we're doing over here. Our first sponsor, our most important sponsor to date, and we're always going to keep it solid. So go over there and check Ben out. LSU continues, Sarah, to put their athleticism and their depth on display.
Yes, they do.
They continue. Malaysia, full Wiley. Please say the my, everybody in the chat. I know that the Rubes of the world always call her Malaysia. I don't know why anyone would do that. Her name is so
especially when they correct people and tell them that
is,
they're saying it wrong when they say it right the first time.
Her name is so obviously Malaysia. It's crazy that someone would correct another person for saying it right.
LSU is undefeated, and like they've been looking really good while doing that. Are averaging 100 points per game. They have 7 players in the rotation who are averaging higher than 10 points per game right now. So they are, like you like to say, dishing out the rock. And one of those players that they're dishing it to is our girl Grace Knox.
Freshman Grace Knox who can dunk, like fully dunk. Grace Knox, 25 points, not 15, 25, 12, 3 blocks, 3 steals against UT Arlington, which I didn't even know was a real school. No shade. So sure. I saw Grace play in Portland at the, the Nike Hoop Summit.
Mm-hmm.
And she played with Aaliyah Chavez. She played with Jazzy Davidson on the floor at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, who's this girl with the braids?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, that's Grace Knox. So she was a top 7.
5. She was number 5.
She was top 5 in the recruiting class?
Yeah, she was number 5 overall ESPN.
Got it. Nice.
So the year.
That's still technically top 7. So
technically, yes, it is.
She's awesome. What happened when I saw her is I thought to myself, wow, she's so athletic. Like, she's just everywhere. She's so fast. Her arms are so long. And she's coming off the bench for this LSU team and playing a ton of minutes. And she's, like I said, she's 6'2" with these long arms. But I saw her in the Nike Hoop Summit play a little guard. But Kim said, yeah, we got Malaysia Full Wiley and we got Flage. And so guess what? We don't need you doing anything guard related. We need you in the post, baby girl, as a wing, as a forward. And she in the post is electric. Great footwork, like really, really good footwork. That's something that stuck out to me is she gets the ball, girl's right behind her, and then all of a sudden she does this little nifty move and she's got an open layup, even though she was swarmed. She's a very strong roller off of the pick and roll, and has gotten into the weight room. She's kind of skinny.
She is.
Gotten into the weight room and gotten like a lot stronger. Did you have something to add that I just went past?
I was just going to say that she is, you can tell that she's like 19 still, that she's got that kind of like tall scraggle.
She's just like all arms. Like she's a junior, she'll be sick. Defensively for someone that lean is nuts. Like she averaged 4 blocks a game in high school. And the thing that I think people should probably know about Grace Knox is that she models and patterns her game off of Asia Wilson.
Oh, interesting.
So that means she's probably going to end up, and she did in the elite youth basketball league for Nike. She went around screens and shot threes. So Asia obviously has started to stretch the floor more and shoot threes as well. But defensively, Grace is just a player that can block the shit out of you. She understands the flow of an offense and where a team wants to go and figures out a way to stifle and stop it. She leaps out of the gym. She rotates super fast, can cover so much ground because she's just so long, like all legs, all arms. And like I said, she's like impossible to block out. Kim Mulkey said, good Lord, you can't block her out. You can't keep her from flying off the boards. She finishes in traffic, and she does. She's really good at that. She works really hard defensively for a freshman. She makes mistakes, but her mistakes are always done with effort. So I think Grace Knox is a sleeper. If she can get more minutes and LSU beat some teams, because they haven't really played anybody yet, I think she's a sleeper for like a top 3 freshman of the year. As well.
She's number 4 on the ESPN freshman impact ratings, following the ones that we, the top 3 are kind of the ones that we expect to be up there. Aaliyah Chavez, Jazzy Davidson, Blanca Quinones.
Can I say something?
Group. Yeah.
Can I say something about my fellow Oregonian, Jazzy Davidson?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And I think she's really good. I love Jazzy. But when she goes against elite talent, she gets shut the fuck down. Against UConn, 10 points. Against Notre Dame, 14. Against South Carolina, 8. So she's feasting on teams like Cal, like whoever CP is. What team is this? Cal Poly. Okay, Mustangs. She's feasting on... I mean, she had a good game. People will say, Trista, don't hate on the NC State game. She did play really well against them. But like largely, I think I'm not going to like hate on her. She's just not my freshman of the year. And USC is just not very good. And LSU is probably a top 3 team in the country right now behind Texas and UConn, to me at least. So I would probably give the nod if Grace Knox continues on this path. And Jazzy defensively isn't very good. And that's no shade to Jazzy. Grace Knox is doing it on both sides of the ball. And that's probably the most important thing, is that Grace Knox is an elite defender and an elite offensive player as well.
The first real big test that we're going to see out of LSU is going to be on Jan 1 against Kentucky. They've got a little bit of a tough schedule. I mean, they've got a tough schedule coming up here. They've got Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma. So
they play Vanderbilt. And listen, I'm going to say it right now. I am thinking, my mind just went, do I need to go down to Baton Rouge for Texas LSU? That game will be fucking crazy.
Insane. That's going to be a really good game.
Crazy. And then you play Oklahoma on the 18th. We're going to really know who LSU is by January 19th.
We're going to know who Texas is. We're going to know who Oklahoma is. We're going to even know who Kentucky and Vanderbilt are. I think there's a lot of teams that we still just don't know who they are because there's only so much you can take away from these 107 to 36 finals, that we're getting.
The schedule is hard.
They have a really hard schedule. That's what I was saying.
They play Tennessee, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Texas twice, Alabama, who we know you're not sleeping on, Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Vanderbilt. Those are really, really hard.
Yeah,
games.
they play Texas at home, and then 2 weeks later they go back and play them in Austin. So and then they got to play South Carolina. They have to go down to Ole Miss. They got to go to Knoxville. I mean, there's a lot of they have a
no. That game is in Baton Rouge. The Tennessee game.
Oh, it's in Baton Rouge. Sorry, but so yes, I mean, we have not really seen them tested.
They play Florida,
but they play Florida, which don't sleep on Liv McGill.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get a lot of answers from them. Are we? Let's see. Do we have another show before those games? We do.
We have a show.
We have a show before those games. So we'll have to. I think we should really dive into a preview of some of these games, these January 1st games, because I think January 1st, we're gonna come out of that first week in January and know a ton more about these rankings right now.
Yes.
So, where we don't need to know about the rankings anymore are volleyball, because the volleyball national championship has concluded. Texas A&M is
Gig 'em.
They gigged them. They gigged all of them. They were so dominant coming down the stretch. They did not drop a single set since the semifinals. I mean, I'm sorry, since the regional finals. They had not dropped a single set. Kendall Stowers, fun fact, was medically retired a year ago.
What?
Yeah. So her brother just won the Mackey Award as a tight end. He's at Vanderbilt. He used to go to Texas A&M, transferred to Vanderbilt.
Oh, wow.
And now she's at Texas A&M after transferring from Baylor, kind of. She sat out a year. She was medically retired from the sport. Too many concussions. And Texas A&M brought her back. So
I didn't realize that volleyball players had that many concussions.
Yeah, that is a good question, because like in my head, I'm like, how do you have so many concussions? Because you don't really use your head. But sometimes when you watch them go smack it down and it goes rocketing right into the noggin at like 90 miles an hour.
And I've played like almost no volleyball in my life except for the mandated high school stuff I had to play. And I remember being like, this hurts my forearms. I don't like how this ball feels. So I would imagine that off the head, it would feel really bad.
Yeah, and they dive a lot. They're like crazy. You really need to lock in on volleyball.
The athleticism
is
from volleyball players needs to be translated to women's basketball, because they'd be doing windmills and stuff if they were tall. Yeah.
Kendall Stowers, I am 100%. If you gave her like a couple months in a basketball, she would figure out how to dunk pretty quickly.
Definitely.
There's no doubt about it.
So she was the most outstanding player for that tournament.
Yep.
What a dominant win. What a dominant championship for a team that just on the M college football side lost to Miami in a playoff. But listen.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. At College Station, you can be rooting for volleyball.
Isn't it funny how like all the hatred I have for schools in M sports,
it's only for M sports.
I don't have it for W sports.
Yeah, I was like, oh, gig 'em. Nice.
Yeah, like,
love
woo.
it.
I was like, yesterday, I was like, I'm totally rooting for Texas A&M. And then in the Miami Texas A&M game, I was like, if Texas A&M scores, I will throw my TV. You know?
And they didn't.
They didn't, because they suck. My team won. Your team won.
A lot. Yeah. Roll Tide.
So you had a story about a boxer?
Yeah, so what I wanted to say is, because I want us to find ways to highlight other women's athletes that are on sports that we don't follow all the time, I just have to say that I have found a star.
Okay.
I have found a full-fledged star who can walk the walk, can fight the fight, can dress the dress, and can talk the talk. She said, I think I did those probably in the wrong order, but you know what I'm talking about. She said, I'm serving hooks and serving looks. And I looked up a bunch of photos of her after she said that. And she was with us on the Dan Le Batard show. So I met her in person. And I think she might be a goddess.
Really?
Truthfully. Google her right now. Alicia Baumgardner, a.k.a. she goes by The Bomb. That's her name that she gave herself. And if this is the 90s, she is thebomb.com, Sarah.
She is large. Like her muscles.
Oh, yeah, she's
like she
jacked.
is jacked.
And beats the shit out of women and says, I love you right after. Gives the girl that she knocked out a hug. I just want to say congratulations to Alicia. They should market her. She should go on Call Her Daddy and every other place. And I'm just so grateful that that the sport has her.
I haven't been able to get into boxing yet, but
me neither. But she got me in.
Maybe I just need to find someone to like in boxing.
Correct. So anyway, shout out to Alicia Baumgardner, aka The Bomb. We see you, girl. We give you your flowers. And don't let those people who say you can't beat whoever that other girl is. Don't let
whoever that other girl is.
Yeah, I mean, we do not care. We do not care. Anyway, Sarah, good show. Congratulations to A&M. Congratulations to thebomb.com. And lots of...
And congratulations to the state of Texas on their additional WNBA franchise.
Yes, congratulations to the state of Texas on the Connecticut Comets coming to Houston. And we'll be off. We're not on for this Friday. There's no games in college. We'll be back after Christmas. Happy holidays, y'all. And we'll see you next
By the
time.
way, you didn't mention my...
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I thought it didn't look like an ugly Christmas sweater.
It's Jingle Bell Rock.
The Rock. Oh my God. So amazing. 1, 2, 3, Sarah.
Let her shoot.